Okay, we're recording. We're all good to go.
Yep. Now, James.
Yes.
Now, everyone who knows me will know you by now, or nearly everyone.
By name.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
James or?
Well, let's start with the video.
Yes.
And then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Now, Jehmal, have you seen the video?
No, I don't think so.
Well, let's show it to you just for context. This is my most viral video on James.
That's it, yes. I love the fanny. That's a good time, yeah. Love a bit of fanny. Gay people and straight people must look at you and think, man, this guy's a bit greedy. Look, I am. I love both platters. So, like, any takers, I'm on. That's it. There was a time when I went to pay the house, I did get strapped on by a girl, and she finished, and she was like, get out of my house. And then I went back to the club and then got some cock by an actual guy, so it was brilliant. It was a good time. Look, at the end of the day, if anyone wants some advice, get jungle juice, because that shit's the best thing in the world. Have a sniff of that. I take it to festivals all the time, literally. You just have a good time, and literally have a sniff. Head spin for 30 seconds. It's the best thing in the world, literally. It's the best thing. Live your fantasy, have a good time, and get up the arse, people. That's it. It's not what you know, and who you know. That's it. Yep. Up the arse. Is this guy going to be putting it up your arse later? Look, he's got the beer belly, and he's got a Collingwood jersey on, so unfortunately not. Not tonight, all right? I'm not bisexual, man.
That's the video.
Very funny.
Yeah. So, just for context, James, that video has 475,000 views at this point.
Really?
Yep. Yep. And
That's mental to me.
Yeah.
People keep sending it to me, and I'm just like, I've seen it that many times.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, you found it now.
I never get tired of watching it, man. I love watching it so much. It might be one of my most favorite things in the world. And what's so weird about it, I just bumped into you and I recognized you and I was like, James, and you're Alex. And we were like, do you want to be interviewed?
Yeah.
Like, fucking oath. And yeah, it was a sick night. And what a fucking small city Perth is. I love it.
Sure.
Now, let's tell them what your performance is, because this is all a performing arts podcast. It's all about performing arts. Why don't you introduce your performance self?
Well, my name in the drag scene is Elanova. I mainly perform at Connections, Court, all that stuff. Court here and there, I haven't done the Court in a while, but I mainly do Connections because it's one of my favourite places to be. But, yeah, I love to perform. I performed in musical theatre at school since I was like 12 and doing singing lessons since then. I've just loved performing. And I met fellow drag queens such as like Barbecue, Alexis Armstrong, Favorocious, all those people. And they've impacted my life so much. And they were like, you should do it. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how I'll be perceived. And it was literally one of the best decisions I've ever done because it's changed my life so much and I've had the best time with it. It's a very good time.
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah. There you go.
Now, I want to quickly go through some of the comments because the only thing funnier than the video itself
Is the comments.
is some of the
I've
comments.
read through them.
Now, we got a few freshies. So let's start with this one. I want to go through. Here's one for you. You can give me your opinion on these.
Right.
Being bi and switch is literally the best hand to be dealt, and I'm grateful for it.
Fucking A, man. Preaching the gospel.
You'll like this one. Just imagine if every human was as happy with themselves as this one. You happy to hear that?
Yeah.
That's actually an amazing
It
comment.
is. Yeah. That is very heartwarming, that one.
Yeah.
And someone said surf and turf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, different
Yeah,
platters.
there you go.
Love how everyone says he looks like Colin Robinson. From
Really?
Yeah. The guy who came up, not you, the guy who came up.
Yeah.
In the middle of the interview, and I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and this guy's a legend. Who is this man? I think I'm in love. Lol.
There are so many like that, and it's so bizarre.
Give this legend a podcast, which I replied more along the lines of, I am. Yeah. And he's just like me, yada, yada, yada. Lots of comments about Jungle Juice and how it gave them an anxiety attack. And the bi legend we've been asking for.
Yes.
And Yeah, here we go. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. That's a very popular one.
Yes.
Yeah, we need more content with this guy. Yep, it's coming. And lots of comments about the use of the word fanny. It's like, how does he like? That's such an old word, and everyone was like, I love it personally.
Well, I got it from Barbie Q because
You would.
She's my drag mum and also Alexis Armstrong. But the amount of time I've spent with Barbie, we just say the same shit. I've gotten all basically my sayings from her, and I just say it because I'm around her all the time. And every time she used to say it, I'd just crack up because I thought it was the funniest word alive.
Yeah.
And it's just in my vocabulary now.
Yeah.
But now I'm at work, I'm just like, don't say fanny.
Don't say
Don't say fanny.
And literally love him and hope we can all be like him one day. He's winning in 2022.
Yes.
He is winning. And you know what? Recently inducted to the Divas.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is probably, would you say, Perth's most prestigious drag troupe?
Yeah, well, it's been around for a while. I wouldn't say inducted as of yet, because that was my first one. I usually do merch table for them, but they had a bit of double bookings and all that stuff, so some people couldn't do it. And obviously, I'm helping out all the time. So they got me to do it, and I had the best time with it.
Nice.
I felt very honoured and privileged to be up there with all of them and to have that opportunity. It was very cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, I heard it was great. And, fortunately, I bartend myself, so I don't get to go as many gigs.
I feel you there. It's fucked.
But, you know, working behind a bar is fun, which we'll talk about in a bit later.
Yes.
A few more comments. Icon by King, we stand.
Yes.
A lot of people asking for the OnlyFans. And be like, there are a lot of people asking for the OnlyFans.
Well, I used to do it. I used to do it during COVID, but then I stopped because I started doing a musical with a fucking high school.
Fair enough.
I was like, no, this isn't right. I've got my work with children.
Yeah,
that's
like,
fuck that.
Yeah, that's very, very good point. A lot of people asking for my OnlyFans. Not coming anytime.
I was about to say, any response to that?
Look, maybe. And then a lot of people re-quoting, oh, look, I am. Yeah.
Everyone says that to me, and I think it's so funny.
It's so good. It's so good. Good for him. I strive to be this happy. Then a bit of national pride. I love Australians. That's it. And I feel like we'll get back to that later. But for now, let's talk about being a late night performer and more importantly, a bartending, because it feels like hospitality and performing go hand in hand. Yeah. Like if you want, and to be honest with you, it's almost a match made in heaven, because when you hospitality gig for the right places, you will see performances and you'll be involved in performances. So that seems like a real match made in heaven for you.
Yeah. I started working at the court in 2020. I got back from South Africa and I got a job opportunity there as a glassy. And before that, I did see some drag. I saw like Alexis, Barbie. I saw Serenity one time, and that was the first time I actually watched a full performance. And that was at Connections one night. And I went to Dom Dollar that night as well. Right. And that was the night before my flight. And my mission that night was to get absolutely fucking wankered. And I had like quite a bit. But then we all went to Connections, and I was like, I've never been to Connections before. And that was the first night I went to Connections. And there was like performances on the terrace. And Serenity.
Theater,
and there was a stage and Serenity was performing, and I was like, this is so cool, like watching all this performance, like it's really cool and like expressive. And then I started getting into the hospo trade and all that stuff, and then I saw a very cool opportunity to like be myself. And then I did that, and then I started doing bar at Connections after COVID. And that was really fun on a Thursday. And that gave me a lot of experience, a lot of learning time as well. And then I also got to experience what it's like behind the bar, because it's hectic.
Of course,
you get so many different people, and it can take a toll on you. Of course, you just got to have the right mindset going into it.
Yeah, look,
especially with drag as well, so it goes hand in hand.
Absolutely. One thing I've noted about hospitality is that attitude kind of goes everything with it. Yeah, you know, like. And to be honest with you, nothing sells more in hospital, because in I was talking to someone about it recently. They were equating sales to hospitality, but I'm like, no, it's two different things.
Yeah.
Like in sales, you're trying to sell something. And
Exactly.
you're persistently selling them.
Yeah.
With hospitality, you've already sold something.
Yeah.
What you're selling is an experience. Like
Yeah.
you want to be friendly, you want to be charismatic, you want to be
Yeah.
charming, you need to, sometimes be good looking and yada, yada, yada. Easy for you. But so all of that stuff comes together. Don't you find like it? You kind of got to charm people off their feet in a certain way, but you need to do it in a way that's efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I used to do sales for Alinta. Do you know the gas company like Alinta?
No,
Like the orange one that's on the side of the buses and all that shit?
no.
Alinta Gas?
You know what?
Yeah, so I used to do sales for them, but
crazy.
for over east on like comms and all that stuff. And I also used to do at the same time bar. So the way I think of it, it's like obviously if you're doing sales, you're selling the goods, but on the bar you're providing it.
Yes.
Because they already know what they're getting.
Yeah.
So like they'll be like, I want that. You literally just give it to them. But with sales, you have to sell the shit out of something, especially with something that big, like with a gas plan or like an electricity plan.
Yeah.
It's very different. But in the same sense, you've got to charm them at the same time.
Yeah.
Which
That is one of the nice things about hospitality, though, and Jehmal, you might be able to relate to this.
Yeah?
Because let's say you're in sales. If someone's been an asshole to them, you can't be an asshole back because you still got to try and sell something. Whereas if you're in hospitality and they've been an asshole about it, it's like, oh, you can be an asshole back, you know? And that's kind of, especially in bartending.
Yeah.
Like bartending more. And also, why would you be an asshole to a bartender?
Yeah.
It's like, mate, these are people who hand in your drinks. What do you want to do with them?
100%.
Yeah, do you want us to fucking piss in them, jizz in them? Like, because, I've thought about it. Like,
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Yeah.
But, like, I get some pretty rude customers sometime, and I'm like, motherfucker. You
Yeah,
know?
literally, if you start with me, I'm going to fucking jump over this fucking thing.
Yeah. Have you got any experience with that, Jehmal?
Everyone's really nice to me, hey? It's just my privilege.
Fucking G. Wish that was me.
I mean, listen, can you hear the voice on the guy, though? You can tell why.
Yeah.
Just talking to the mic softly, Jehmal.
Hi, guys. I'm talking.
Yeah, this is the first time I met you and you seem like such a nice guy.
Oh, thank you. I am.
Yeah.
He is.
And the earring's sick as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
To be honest with you, he's deceptively nice. Sometimes it throws...
Oh, you're one of those, are you?
No,
What does that mean?
It means you're so nice that it throws me off because I'm like, no one can possibly be this nice. Then you hang around him long enough and it's like, oh no, he is this nice.
Yeah,
And
it's like finding love. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Like, are you
Oh,
really that
yeah.
sort of...
Yeah. And
I've been a bad person in my life, so
haven't we all?
as everyone, and I've learned from it.
Yeah. Now-
All positivity. I believe in karma so much, you know?
growth.
Yeah, growth. Yeah, for sure.
Now, something that has been demanded in private circles,
Yes.
and I feel like we should get Jehmal in on this because Jehmal knows how to have a good time himself,
Right.
is
All the innuendo. I love it. I'm getting scared.
you and I, in our respective circles, we're both known as something of a party animal.
That's the thing. A lot of people see me out drinking, right? And that's the only time they see me out with a drink in my hand. But at the same time, it's like, I just want to go to fucking bed.
Yeah.
And I'm sometimes in the house, but a lot of the time it's like I'm out and people only see me as that. But at the end of the day, if there's an event on, I am a party animal. But if it's like social something, if I'm going to watch something, I'll have a drink. But if there's like a festival, say like Listen Out or like an ice cream factory and Dom Dollars playing, like fuck me, I'll go loose.
Eat some fanny in the portable dong.
Yeah, mate, don't ever. Oh, fuck. Oh, what was that? It was Castaway. It was Castaway 2020, near the end of 2020. Yeah, and I was at a festival, and that literally happened. And there was this girl I was talking to because she met me when I was in drag.
Right.
So that was really cool.
Yeah.
But we were at a festival together, and that fucking happened. Then she went off with her group, and I was like, fucking good on you. I was back on the piss.
Yeah.
Then I went out again.
Legend. Fucking hell.
Such weird shit happens, eh?
I know. But can we talk about, your flavours of...
I don't do it.
You don't smoke weed?
No, but I will say, one of my friends, I went over to his house about 2 weeks ago, and
I think was it on bingo night?
yeah, no, you saw me. I never smoke weed. I have in South Africa, and the experience from that was fucked me. But because it's all legal over there.
Yeah.
Like the first time I smoked it, I went over to South Africa, and the day I landed, my friends organised a party for me, and I was like, fucking all right. And then they were like, have a cone. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll have just a small one. They packed the fucking brim, like, to the brim.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kept pulling, and I was like, why is it not fucking stopping? And they were like, keep going. I'm like, shit. And then fucking, I just kept laughing for the whole night. And I rolled my ankle off a fucking, like, walking, like, stone.
Yeah.
Like, across the side of the house. And I didn't feel it. And the next day, my
Cooked.
whole
yeah.
ankle was fucked.
I've had a few nights.
So
like that.
that's... I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But, like, people do it. Like,
Yeah.
good on them. Like,
Yeah.
they feel great. But 2 weeks ago, I had 2 cones, one after another.
Yep.
And I was fucking munted.
I saw you.
Yeah.
And you,
I was not the same person.
Jehmal, this may have been the most stoned I have ever seen a person.
Oh,
it was,
nice.
I was fucking greened out.
Yeah.
I thought everything was a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I downed 3 chips and gravies from next door.
Oh my god.
I fucking ate a burger from the other kebab shop. So I went to 2 separate kebab shops. And I had 1 wine as well, which surprised me. Like, I was like, do I only have 1 drink? I felt hunted.
Yeah.
But like, I got home and I was like, fuck, I've got work in the morning. And I felt disgusting the day after.
Nice.
It was fucked. Because my friend, like, he does it all the time. And he was just like,
Mascara Queen, right?
yes.
Yeah.
That's the one. Hey. If you're watching, it's not your fault, it's mine. I literally asked him to fucking give me cones. I was like, I'll have one.
Yeah.
And then I had 2. One
Yeah.
after another.
James, are you stoned right now? Oh,
I
am.
Shit. Here we go.
That's a clue.
That is.
That's a clip.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk to us about, like, let's Jehmal, you've had some big nights in your time, I'm sure.
Somewhat.
Let's talk about our biggest benders. No names need to be mentioned, but how long did they go for, and what state were you in by the end of it?
Who wants to kick it off? Do you want me to kick it off?
You kick it off. You're the star.
Oh, thank you.
No worries.
Again in South Africa. The thing is with South Africa, they don't tax alcohol
Right.
over there. So a bottle of Jack's over here, like a litre one, is like what, $55 or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. Over there, it's 25.
Jesus.
It's mental. And from that trip, I came back with 2 litres of Tanqueray for like $40.
Jesus.
And Mum looked at me and she's like, "What have they done to you?" I was like, "No, I'm just like gin." But so last time I went, which was going from 2020 to 2020. No. It was going from 2019 to 2020.
Yeah.
And this was before COVID.
Yeah.
So I landed on the 29th. And my cousins, I landed, went to my usual plan is, because my dad lives on the coast, which is like about 4 hours away from the airport, and then my cousins live about an hour away. And they're in like the usual like towns and all that stuff. My dad's rural.
Yeah.
So my plans are always usually go there for 2 weeks, see all my friends, see my cousins, my uncle, and then spend the rest of the time with my dad so I can cap it off with like spending time with him.
Yeah.
So I got there and my cousins were like, "We just bought you a ticket for this 4-day like festival." And I was like, fucking 4 days. I was like, shit, I just landed.
Yeah.
And my jet lag's going to kick in because they're 6 hours behind us.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be fucked.
You're going to be
And
barbecued.
they were like, yeah, like it was pretty cheap because the ticket was like in our currency, 175.
You're right.
for
For a
4
4-day
days.
fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So basically they were like, we're leaving at 5 a.m. in the morning to get there at 10 a.m. to set up. And I was like, what do you mean set up? And it was a camping festival. I don't do camping.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it because I hate bugs. I hate not having a bed.
This
like,
is the one thing that unites drag queens. They fucking hate the bush.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I love the bush. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
love the outdoors.
Yeah.
I just can't camp in them.
Fair
Like, I
enough.
love exploring, but I just can't sleep on the fucking ground.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But like, we got there, and it was beautiful setup. Like tents everywhere, huge setups like everywhere. It was like the Botanic Gardens in Rolling Stone,
yeah.
like that, but like huge. It was brilliant. Because they party hard. Like they have acid, they have LSD, like they're fucking. It's called trance music, and it's like house music, but fucking off the chain. Like it's mental. So they're all going hard, and I'm like, "Where's the bar?" And we're going into party thing at the moment, and they're like, "No, there's no bar anywhere." And I was
Just
like,
drugs.
I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So literally, I had the first night of no drinking, but I took like MD, all that stuff, and I don't know how you feel with that, like not drinking, but I was fucked.
Yeah.
I just felt so weird.
Yeah.
But the next day, literally, we were just set for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
And New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day, I don't think we went to sleep.
Nice.
And then we had like New Year's Day and then the day after. But they had a van there, and I'll never forget it. They had a van there that was pizza, and it's the best pizza I've ever had in my life. Because I just kept ordering it all the fucking time. Like with toppings, everything. But it was just mental. Because they had, it was in a river as well, like next to a river, like connecting.
Yeah.
So people used to jump off the bridge, and I did as well. But my fucking piercings like just ripped out. And I was like, fuck. But I've never partied harder than that, because they just go off and they just keep going. So I'm joining in.
Yeah.
But then I fucking got back, and I did not touch alcohol for fucking 3 weeks.
Jesus.
It was fucked. But that's my bender story. I usually don't go for benders. That's why. That's the only bender I've usually been on.
Jehmal, your bender? That's a fuck. I
Yeah.
winced to feel like what state your liver in was after that.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat like large portions for like a week because I ate that much and like drank that much. My stomach was fucked.
Yeah.
So I felt skinny
Yeah.
Nice.
for a week.
Your turn.
Well, just like you, man, I don't go on many benders.
Yeah.
So did I use the right pronouns? Yeah? Okay. Thank God.
Yeah, out of drag, I'm
I
here. Yep.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
You're
It's
right.
always
You're
good
right.
to make
Good,
sure.
good to ask. Good to ask.
Yes, for sure. Oh yeah, I don't go on benders, but I can tell you the time that I got pretty fucked up and it was hella funny. So you know Mullaloo?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Mullaloo Beach. So I was at my friend's house, Joe Humphreys, if you're watching, mad dog, and ended up doing like cough medicine, but not lean. So not like codeine, right? It's a dissociative. So like ketamine, imagine ketamine,
Right.
but this is dextromethorphan, allegedly. It's legal, so I don't even have to say allegedly. You can get it over the counter. They've cancelled it now because too many kids were getting fucked off, but whatever.
Right.
But, so I was doing that and I was drinking and I had a bit of a joint, allegedly. And pretty much, all I can remember is I took that, I'm drinking a bit, I took a puff of the joint, I'm like, oh, nothing's happening. And fucking, we had a little campfire at his house. And then, if you imagine like falling sideways, you know, just like sort of moving your head sideways, that happened and I rotated in a different place. And all of a sudden I was in Mullaloo Beach, man.
What?
Now I don't remember the walk, and that's the crazy, you know what I mean? I actually remember the fire and then tilting and then coming up. Now I can somewhat in fragments remember getting there, but for some reason my brain just associated that and looped those memories together. And now
that's all you remember.
And now I'm in Mullaloo Beach. Well, now I'm on the beach, right?
Yeah.
This is when the story starts. So that's when it kicks in. And I'm there with like maybe 6 mates. And Mullaloo Beach Hotel is obviously across the road. We're on the grass area. And fucking these cunts get kicked out of the hotel, right? And this is like 12, maybe 1 a.m. at this point. So the people that get kicked out are pretty fucking rowdy, right?
Yeah.
And we're all rowdy too. And we're at one of the park benches. And then we just go, the boys,
Yeah.
the boys, which is like the universal straight white male signal of like,
Yes.
I want this interaction. Let's have fun. And then they end up going, the boys. And then they come over. We end up like mingling or whatever. And like, it's like 4 guys. There was like a 40-year-old dude, a 25-year-old dude, a 50-year-old dude, just everyone, all of the uncles you don't like. And
Mashed
the cousin,
together.
and the cousin that's a bit questionable is all there.
Cousin
And,
that's going to get a criminal record.
Yeah. No, this is so funny, right? Because one of them was in a tie-dye shirt. Now, in that hour, there's very few times that someone in a tie-dye shirt is a good idea to hang around. Like, they're fun. They're always fun, but it's never a good idea.
Yeah, tie-dye onesie, that's that on steroids.
Yeah.
I'm stereotyping a little bit, but until I'm
true.
proven wrong.
Yeah.
And then anyway, so fucking one of them had a vape, and he goes and he passes the vape around everyone. He asked me if I wanted to hit the vape, and I don't. It was one of the refillable ones, and I don't use people's stuff. Like, if you can refill it, it's like a drink being spiked. I don't know what's in there.
Yeah.
And I just had that gut feeling, and then he passed it around. My friends have the vape. I go, no. And then he goes, you know what was in that vape? And then instantly you can just see everyone like, fuck, what have we done? He goes, methamphetamine.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I bet
This
in the
was
back of your mind, you're just like,
yeah, demonic love. Fuck these cunts. Fuck them. Called me a pussy. And then fucking and then I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna be bad. And I'm already fucked up, so I can't imagine if I was on fucking meth. Oh, doing it accidentally, what a loser. If you're gonna fucking commit to it, you go the whole way and you cook it, and you ruin your family model and your house, and you go all the way down. And I actually know someone that did that for the bit. And honestly, for the joke, dude, for a joke, he did that, but that's a separate story. And then I'm not joking, but. And then, so then, this is what happened, because this is where it gets actually insane, because these people were not good. So then everyone's like on edge, and then all of a sudden his mate was interested in one of the girls that was with us. And like he started being really creepy.
oh, shit.
And this was like, he was like, hey, you're beautiful. I love you. You're so attractive. And it's just off his face. Like, who knows if he was on meth as well. At this point, since I'm like, I'm not sober, but I could tell they weren't picking up what I was picking. I'm hyper aware of that. I got a lot of sisters. You know, I try to make sure.
Same.
Like-
I'm very protective of girls when I'm out with them.
Exactly,
Three
right?
sisters
And-
myself. So
Yeah.
And being a guy and non other guys, it's just like, I'm just like that. I was raised like that. And I was just picking up a weird vibe. And then I was just like, look, I think we should fucking, you know, move on from these people. But they were like, no. What we'll do is we'll trick him.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, man, no, that's a dude. He's transitioning. And then he goes, I love you even more.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then like he starts like, and she's like moving away from him. And then to the point where she starts sort of like running.
Oh, really?
And then like he's chasing her around the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like sort of, and it's like, you know, that half play, half like, what is this moment where it's like, is
Right.
this a joke? Obviously it wasn't. Like, is this guy joking? I don't know how to frame it without being there, but because the energy wasn't totally malicious yet.
yeah.
You didn't know what, and like, I'm only 18, you know what I mean? This is a 50-year-old guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, at this point, I've only ever been punched.
Yeah.
Never been in a proper fight, let alone with someone like 50 years old. And fucking hell, I'm now getting really like, okay, let's everyone start
need to
going.
stop, yeah.
And as he starts running around, I ended up saving her, dude. And guess how I saved her?
Yeah.
Rapping.
Rapping.
Rapping. So the guy in the tie-dye shirt was the young one, right? So the young one comes over and he introduces himself to me. I'm watching them run around the table. This is all happening at the same time. And then he's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I do a little bit of hip hop music, man. And he goes, oh, let's fucking rap battle right now. And he goes, you know Swap Meet Pete from the Swap Meet? And I'm like, yeah, I know Swap Meet Pete from the Swap Meet. Little bit of a freak. And then he's just like, and then he starts fucking rapping with me. And then this guy goes, the one chasing her, comes over and he comes and listens to the rap battle.
Yeah.
And then everyone else came and listened to the rap battle and we had a little bit of a riff. And I ended up saving her life.
Yeah.
This is how I know men are the problem.
Yes.
This story.
Yep.
And then the highlight of that is not only saving this woman, but after the rap battle, this guy sits on the ground, this young guy, and just yells, why am I here? Why am I here? And then I was like, okay, we need to go because
Yeah,
these people are
fucking
clearly not mentally
Stable.
there.
Yeah.
Like whatever they were on or whatever. And then my mates, there wasn't enough seats in the car that they took. And they all got in the back of the car, and then I was left there by myself, and they started following me. I had to run away from these people. And I was still as fucked up as like when you're, the fire thing. So that's just probably the most eventful. I got other stories, but that's probably the funniest one.
That's I fucking love that one. Yeah.
That was a fucking journey and a
I
half.
know, right? And it was real. I couldn't believe it. Like
Shit.
waking up the next day going, oh my God, that actually just happened. But true.
I love it.
Thank you. What about you?
Well, in terms of like most eventful night, you were actually present at the start of it.
Oh, yeah?
It was in terms of longest one. I think it was Easter long weekend, and yeah, we started Good Friday, we started Good Friday, ended Easter Sunday. Went the whole time.
When was this? What year?
This was 2019.
Right.
2019.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were up in the hills at a house party, and then we went to another house party.
Right.
And then we went to another house party. Then we went to another house party.
Yeah.
Got to Sunday morning, and I swiped a finger in that section where your thigh meets your crotch, and I just gave it a sniff, and it was I was in a nuclear state at that point. And I took one sniff of it, smelt it, and I was like, "It's time for me to go home." And I just went and slept it off for like fucking 2 days. I was walking death for 2 days.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, nothing very interesting happened that night. The most interesting night which was when Jehmal was there. It was Funniest 5. And that was the first night I premiered the onesie on stage.
Right.
And it was a great performance. I wasn't outside watching the show. I literally went backstage as soon as the show started, got in the onesie and just sat there and just kind of like I felt in the zone that night. That was like a really good show for me. I was very, very proud of that. And but I was like, as soon as I got off stage, I'm like, I'm going out. And I had some goodies on me, and I went straight to the toilet in the green room.
Nice.
And a line of MD and a tab of acid, and we
Lovely.
were off. And that night, I think went to Caballito's, fucking shitload of cocktails, Connie's. What gets up in Connie's, all of that shit there. Then I left and I realized I'm kind of burnt out. I need to go.
Yeah.
Then I stopped at the pretzel stand. I traded a pretzel for a poem with a girl because I carry the joke book with me wherever I go. And because I'm a bit of a poet in my spare time.
Fuck, I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, and I fucking wrote her this poem and she gave me a pretzel. She took the poem. And then she was kind of wigging me out and I was like, get away from me. I've given you the poem. Leave me alone. I was like really freaking out. I bumped into a mate. I made a friend at a train station. And then I made some more friends on the way to Magnet House. I wasn't going to go into Magnet House, but I was walking past there.
Yeah.
And then some guys, I bumped into some guys. We got back and forth. I mentioned I was a comic. And he was like, well, tell us a joke. If it doesn't make us laugh, we'll kick your head in. Now, they may have been joking, but that's not a good thing to tell a person. When
100%.
Yeah. I told them the joke. They laughed. I didn't get my head caved in. Thank God. And these guys were pretty big heifers. They easily could have. And so that was very trippy. Met another girl crying out at Magnet House. And this is where I got someone in a little bit of trouble later on. It got resolved. But she was crying her eyes out. And there was some guys around who they were just eyeing her off. And I was just a little bit worried for her. And I was like, I'm not in a good state myself. And I was like, darling, are you okay? And she was like, no, I've lost my friends. And I was like, are your friends coming for you? And be like, yeah. And I was like, listen, if it makes you comfy, I'll just stand here until your friends get here. And I just won't leave you. I'll just hang around and be like, you don't need to talk to me. But I could tell she was shitting herself.
Yeah. 100%.
And so I just hung with her for a bit. Her friends rocked up. And then, we all chatted back and forth. That night was the thing because in a bit of a drunken stupor, I bought a second onesie. Not that night, another night.
Right.
And I carried it with me. Yeah. And I made a bet with a person. And because I was drunk, I bought it the wrong size. It was way too small for me.
Yeah.
And made a bet with a friend previously. I was like, I bet I can get someone to wear this onesie on a night out.
Easily.
Yeah. And this girl, she wore the onesie. She was, oh my God, you got another fucking onesie. She put it on, yada, yada, yada. We took a photo of it because I needed to prove it to a friend. Now, carry on. I remember, wheeling some guy in a wheelchair down the street. Ended up with me talking. I gave this guy my coat for half an hour, and then he was like, he liked me, and he said I reminded him of his brother, so he bought me an Uber all the way back to Coburn, which is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And then like we got the photo of us in the onesie, but I was like, I don't have the proof because I didn't get the photo on my phone.
Oh, fuck.
But she'd told me she'd worked at Hillsy's,
Right.
which was City Beach.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, I need that fucking photo. So I called up the City Beach where she worked at, and I was still like in a bit of a state at this point. I shouldn't have called her work and asked, I'm trying to get through to this person, and then like got her in trouble later on. I found out because I bumped into her again, and then she was like, listen, I know, you looked out for my friend. I know you're not bad, but you got me in bad trouble that night. And I'm like, I'm so fucking sorry. I was still kind of be like, yeah, I guessed. And she was like, and I was like, but I just needed the photo to win the bet. And she was like, oh yeah, here's the photo. And she sent it to me. And on the way home, I got an Uber back to a cafe that I worked at, ended up sleeping out of there for half an hour before it got opened up, stayed for a coffee, went home. I had to work that night.
Fuck.
And I hadn't slept yet. And to say I was rough on that shift was
An understatement.
And normally, like, I'm someone who takes a bit of pride in bartending. I like to be charming. I like to make people feel welcome. I like to joke around with them. And generally, I'm pretty good at it. I was not myself this night. And my regulars, people who come to the bar regularly, they could see it, and they were ripping the piss out of me. And they were like, you were off your head. And I was like, fuck, yeah, like, I could barely speak. I was sweating like just pure alcohol at that point.
Yeah, I bet.
And I was just like, oh, fuck. And, that's my story. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So a poem for a pretzel, nearly got my head caved in and saved a girl, got another girl in trouble, but I gave away a onesie and did a comedy show.
And won a bet.
And won a bet. Yeah.
Fucking, that's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never gamble with me.
So if you're watching, come fuck you, we won.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Fuck you, Timmy. Yeah. And, But anyway, that was a good night. So that's my Bender story. But I want to talk in regard, because I heard a story about a show at Connie's that happened a few years ago.
Okay.
Now,
shit.
I'm hearing from this person. This person is like a Connie's staple.
Right.
And I don't know if they'll want me to mention their name, because I don't know if they'll want me telling them. I don't know if they'll want me saying that they told me this story.
That's all right. Just I might have heard of the show.
Yeah, but there was this alternative comedian.
Right.
And he had a dildo up his bum. And he attached a helium balloon to it. And the helium balloon dragged it out of him. Now, this guy hadn't douched.
Oh,
So
for
apparently
fuck's
it was a
sake.
light dildo and a big balloon. And this shit-covered dildo is just floating on the stage and floating over people. And like...
Oh, what the
apparently
fuck?
they got like in real fucking bad trouble.
Yeah,
for it.
100%.
Yeah. And it was like... And... I wasn't there, so I can't 100% confirm this story. But can you just imagine how funny it would have been? It's disgusting. It shouldn't happen. But in hindsight, it is pretty funny.
I would have left the fucking venue and gone upstairs.
People did.
Yeah,
a lot of people
fuck.
did, yeah.
I would have lost it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's just mental.
Yeah.
How the fuck did a helium balloon drag a dildo out of someone's ass?
Apparently it was a light dildo and it was a big fucking balloon.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Who comes up with that?
I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to put a balloon on a dildo, put it up my ass.
Okay. And see what happens?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
Fucking
monetize it.
Flying around the fucking
Yeah,
audience.
yeah. No, you know what you should do? You should put a butt plug up there, tie it to it, and then carry it around with you while you're doing room theatre.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think I'd die.
Yeah.
Because
And then-
but imagine the people grabbing the fucking thing.
Yeah, but have it written on the balloon, don't pull unless you can replace.
That's a See, that is an ultimatum right there. That would be a fun night.
That would be a
Yes.
fucking excellent night. The only thing funny I've seen is Kiara Climax holding a phone above her head, and on the phone has got written, cock, penis, or dick accepted.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck. Pretty iconic.
Well, it's a seamless transaction, really.
It
in
is.
my opinion.
Yeah.
No FPOS needed,
No FPOS needed.
just a confirmation.
Just confirmation of delivery.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Thumbs
It's not
up,
taxable.
there you go.
Yeah, not taxable.
The toilets are ready.
Oh, goodness. Have you ever had a night out in Connie's, Jehmal?
No.
No.
Is that where they do the lesbian mod wrestling?
They used to.
Oh, they don't do it anymore?
But yeah, because of COVID, it just stopped. But then they just stopped it overall. It was fun. I remember going because everyone told me to go, and I was like, really? Like I didn't know how to feel about it. And then I went. But the first time I went, there were two women, right? And they literally got the bras off, the panties off, and they were full naked. And I was like, is this what it's like every week? I was like, I lost my mind. I was like, fucking go off, kick her in the fucking minge. Like, I don't know, but like, it was just so interesting to watch, but it was so fun at the same time.
Someone told me recently, and you can kind of confirm whether or not this is true,
Right.
where the craziness of drag comes and go in waves throughout years.
Yes.
So, like, obviously, when you think of drag, the fucking
Craziness in terms of busy or
craziness in terms of hijinks, like drugs, sex, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, their they went through, like, 2015, 2016 was a crazy point. They've gone
I've
into...
heard about those years, yes.
Yeah, and then apparently, like, 2018, 2019, pretty crazy, but was starting to taper off. 2020, obviously, 2021, both pretty dead years. And apparently now, coming up to 2023, they're coming into a new era of crazy with all of these baby drags coming out.
Yep.
And, like, they are getting up to their own hijinks.
Man.
And they're, like, pushing the boundaries, and, like, the legends of, like, the pillars of the drag community in Perth are, like, fucking... Some of them are coming out of retirement almost for it,
Well, like, you've got Pride this weekend.
Fuck.
And that goes off.
Yeah.
Because I've seen some people in right states at Pride.
I bet.
And I'll probably be the same.
Nice.
And you won't see me that night. Because if you do, I'll tell you not to say anything. But, no, it like... When I got introduced to that stuff, it was like Fringe 2020. Like the after parties, the kick-ons. Like I had a kick-ons till 10 a.m. one day. And I remember having a line and I ordered an Uber. And I was in the Uber. I was like, I just had a fucking line. I was like, I can't go to bed. I was like, what am I doing? But yeah, especially this Pride, I think people are going to go off because you've got basically Pride coming back. You've got the floats coming in through Northbridge again. You've got events all around the place.
Well, it seems like Pride 2020 and Pride 2021 had to die down hugely because of COVID. And now, like, this year, it's going to fucking... Because, like, they've got 3 years of pent-up energy now. Now it's just going to go off.
I remember I went to 2020, I went to Seasons. And that was Pride night as well. So I kicked off the night at Seasons and I was munted. And I got to Connie's and no one was on my level. I was like, oh, everyone's not, like...
On it.
Yeah, well, like, people were, but, like... It was just a bit dull. So I was like, okay, it's 2020 for fuck's sake. But that last year was pretty good. Like, it was pretty hectic. And then this year, I think this Saturday is going to be a wild one for a lot of people. Because there's events happening on the Sunday as well, like day parties, which I'm going to. And I'm trying to prepare myself for them.
Jehmal, you coming out?
For Pride? Maybe. I work.
It's a good night. It's a very good night. Aside from everything else, it's a very good night.
Yeah, but I work weekends.
Oh,
So do I, but I'm going out afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe. If you guys are out.
I promised people I'd put on the onesie for it.
Yeah, in Connie's.
Yep, I promised
fuck
people in Connie's I'd put on the onesie for it.
Yeah,
and
fuck
I was
yeah.
like, yep, the psychedelic unicorn is making a return.
Nice.
And I kind of brought it out a little bit last Friday night because we were doing some filming with Justin Sider, but we weren't out for long. We did the filming. I went in Connie's for an hour, said hello to some people, and left. I didn't have one drink that entire night. Whereas this Saturday, I don't know if I'll hit it hard because I've still got to work on Sunday, but I will be out all night.
Yeah.
But come New Year's, I've got 2 days off after New Year's Eve. I'm
Yes.
working New Year's Eve, and then I'm getting on it as soon as I close up for the night.
New Year's Eve's going to be a big one.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a day party, but Falls next year is 2-day festival.
But because I finish on midnight at the bar, you know what I'm going to need to do?
Oh,
in order
literally.
to catch up with everyone, everything I do is going to need to go right down the Jap's eye so it can get there as quick as possible.
Yeah, 100%. Shot.
Shot. Yeah, funneling a shot right down the Jap's eye. Fucking
Yeah.
hell. Oh, goodness gracious. God, I have to do that again.
Well, make sure you get it on TikTok. Just censor it.
Yeah.
That one will be one for the OnlyFans, eh?
You just have an image of yourself and then the sounds
Yeah.
overlapping it.
Jesus. Oh, goodness gracious.
Jesus.
ASM urethra. I don't know.
ASM urethra.
You know?
ASM masochist urethra. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh,
Hey!
Me every day.
I know. Fucking hell.
Shit.
Now,
God.
the second thing we've got to look at
Yes.
is we are going to the second delightful thing that has come out about the video in question is the adaptations of the audio.
Oh, shit.
Mm.
I've seen some.
Yep.
There's one guy from America that did the Jungle Juice one, and I thought that was so funny. 'Cause
That was
he's in like a
brilliant. Oh, so
fucking,
they used
he's
the
in like a
sound?
white
Yeah.
button up and then
Yeah.
like a tie.
That's
It
how
looks so business, and
Yeah.
he's fucking like doing the Jungle Juice bit, and I was like, that's fucking brilliant.
That must be so cool, man, to have people
Dude.
like quote
It's very
you.
cool.
It's amazing for me. Fucking
Yeah, and
was-
especially the comments, because when people like saying like, "Oh, this guy's very nice," like we should all be like him.
Yeah.
That's really cool to see, in my opinion.
Yeah.
because I've always never liked myself because I was bullied for like all of my school years, and it was a tough time.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to find love from people and get people's respect
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So that's really cool that people, me being my true self
Yeah.
and having a fun time, people relating to that
And loving
and
it.
seeing that just really warms my heart.
It should. Yeah.
And people need to buy some Jungle Juice.
Yeah. Have a sniff of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, we have Miss Dexy Queen did a video.
Yes.
Sugar.
That's the
Jour.
funniest one to me because I'm friends with Sugar, and I can just hear the fucking tone of like, I can just see her mouth moving. I'm just like, yeah, that's Sugar.
Yep. And then also Kimmy Head. So those
Yeah.
are a few of the familiar names who are familiar
Yes.
to us.
Yes.
So what a fucking amazing time that has been.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that. And
You've also gotten some stupid comments on my part, other than people asking for my OnlyFans. You had one, get this, they said, a little bit biophobic to say that bisexual people are greedy.
really,
Thoughts? Yeah.
oh, they can get fucked.
Take a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, yeah. Well, like, I mean, well, like,
Nah, I'm all good, bro. I'm all good.
I see the humor and everything. Like, I know where the line is, but at the end of the day, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like, and especially because when I said in that video, I do want to point something out. When that guy came up and I was like, oh, he's got the beer belly. I wasn't fat shaming at all. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
Because it was just, I was drunk that night. And if it did offend people, I'm sorry. But, yeah, that's one thing I was like, oh shit, shouldn't have said that. But yeah.
But the Collingwood jersey, I thought, because I was like,
Oh, no, I 100% agree with that statement.
yeah. And then the other thing too, I was like, you said the beer belly, and I was like, oh, I thought you might have been into like a bear type of dude or a dad bod type of dude. But then the Collingwood jersey, I think, went right the other way.
I like more slim, built, but I like muscly guys. I like that sort of physique on people. Like, obviously, I've gone with other people in the past, but that's my sort of type. Because I'm just attracted to that sort of guy who just fucking goes for it. Like, in the gym, like, when they're working out and they're just ripped to shit, I'm like, fuck, imagine what he could do. Just imagine. Like, you know that twinkle in your head, you're just like,
There's someone ripping it out in the squat rack, and then
yeah.
James is just in the bench press behind.
Yeah. There's some Americans, I look at them, I'm like, how the fuck are they like
The
that?
steroid industry is massive in America.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
true.
And that's because they don't punish it like criminally as hard as they do in Australia. Like it's pretty loose over there, and like
Yeah.
people also Americans are far more obsessed with like body image than Australians
Yeah.
are. So like, no wonder all of them are jabbing needles into their bum.
Mhm.
You know,
But they earn so much money off it as well.
Of
Like you see all
course.
these people on Instagram just doing like fucking workouts, but they're like doing it all the time and they're influencers.
yeah,
And I'm just like, oh my God, they're earning fucking racks off literally posting one gym
yeah,
video. It's crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Mm. I got invited by someone I won't name. I got invited to Steamworks recently, and
I've heard about it.
I didn't know what Steamworks was when they invited me.
Did you not?
No. And I had to check with someone. I was like, because I like checking in with people. Like,
Yeah.
And like, I'm just old fashioned like that. And I was like, oh, do you know what Steamworks is? And they're like, oh yeah, it's a gay sauna, sex on
Yeah.
premises. And I was like,
It's a beautiful venue. Like it's
just the audio.
I've-
It's fantastic.
no. I haven't been there on the night out before, but I remember going in there for a project like during the day, and I was curious about it because that's not my sort of scene.
Mm-hmm.
But going in there, it seems like such a wonderful, like, cute venue. Like it's very nice. Like you've got the saunas, you've got the spas, you've got the showers,
Got the
got the
stains.
playroom. Yeah,
Yep.
you've got the fucking crushed up Dexy on the floor.
Nice.
But no, it's a beautiful event. I'm going there for an event called Hedonism. On
heard
New
about this.
Year's Eve, I'm going there. No, but it's all genders.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive. And it's basically a sex party. But I don't know if that's the right term, so I don't know if I
Jehmal,
should say
doing
that.
anything New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Yes.
But no, it's really cool. A lot of my friends go and they say it's a great experience because it's all consent based, which is really cool to me.
Well, I suppose it's a little bit like the saying of like, you know, you walk into a room and I mean, like Americans use this saying with their guns, but like they kind of say, oh, when you walk into a room full of guns, everyone, no one will fuck one another because everyone has guns.
Yeah.
Not that I'm condoning guns, but
No.
the Americans can do their own thing. I'm not criticizing them either. It's the Americans thing. They can fucking do what they want. But orgy, I'd imagine it's like, well, everyone's there for a good time. And like, because everyone has to be consenting, it's almost like a self-enforced center.
Yeah, but like my friend who has told me about the whole event, this is how I got into it, and I was like, actually, you know what, I'll give it a go. The rooms that they have there, because they've got playrooms, like they've got the stage, all that stuff. If you enter a room, you can watch and all that stuff, but you can ask, be like, hey, can I keep watching this? And they're like, yeah, sure. And obviously, if they don't feel comfortable, like, can you stop watching? And then the person will go.
Right.
So, like, it's all consent-based, which is really cool to me. But there's this... there's one person that I know, and she was like, listen, I've got a friend. She wants to peg you.
You go on.
Are you going to hedonism? And I was like, fucking, I don't know. This was like 5 months ago. And I was like, possibly. What's hedonism? And they were like, oh, it's this. And I was like, that's a very interesting concept, but I am busy that night.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool event. It's really cool. I can't wait to go.
Now, one thing that gets brought up a lot when I interview drag queens, sexual awakenings. Now, Donna Kebab, the premier drag on the episode,
Yes.
Brendan Fraser, George of the Jungle.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
He was ripped in that movie. What happened?
He got old. It happens.
No, you can keep going.
He also had a shit ton of injuries as well.
Oh, he
Came
did,
off a
didn't he?
motorbike,
Yeah,
had
true.
a car accident. But mine was Morticia Addams from Addams Family.
That is a very good pick.
Still one of the hottest women alive.
Yeah.
Oh. What's yours? You can, because you're bi, I'll allow you to choose too.
Thank you so much. There was one guy in a movie. I forgot what it was, but there was a movie, and what the fuck was it called? There was a Cartoon Network movie, and it was like a live redoing of like a cartoon. I forgot what it was called.
Scooby-Doo?
Fucking dog. The dog.
Scooby. That's when I had my sexual awakening.
Yes.
My pets were no longer safe.
Oh no, what's it fucking called? It's like Fire Breather. There was a movie called Fire Breather on Cartoon Network, and they did a redoing of it. And the guy, his hair, his body.
Let's go to the phones, pull it
I
up.
think it was that movie, but there was a guy. I just remember being at my nan's house, just being, oh my god, he's so hot. But also, I was at an all-boy private school for like 5 years. So I had all the sports boys around me. So I was like, oh, this is quite interesting. Like, the swimming pool like bathrooms, like that was connected.
The classic one.
Yeah, but it was like 4 fucking things of like showers, benches, like all
Okay.
that stuff. So it was huge. And I remember hooking up with a boy in there, and I just found it so interesting because I felt like I was in a movie. Like,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
really
it's
cool.
very movie-like
Yeah.
as an awakening.
Like, but then obviously, like, you hear the people coming, you're like, fuck, we need to stop.
Yeah.
And then they change their attitude. And it's like, oh, it's a
So
bit
it is
shit.
very movie-like.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, it's interesting like that. I would say my all-boy private school was my sexual awakening to it. But the girl aspect of it, there was a show called Rain.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Yeah. The women in that were just so regal but so fucking gorgeous at the same time. I was like, oh. But yeah. It's 2 different aspects of it. But yeah, in that point I was like, why can't you love everyone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just have
bladders,
fun.
surf and turf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're surf and turf. But you're like, it's just expressing yourself and exploring. So exploring's the main thing. Because, like, you won't find yourself true if you don't explore.
No, and I feel like, well, we're very lucky to live in the world today. And politics rises and falls. But I feel like these days, because, you know, things have happened throughout history, I feel like we will always land pretty much in the center again. Because no one fucking wants to, no one wants to go fucking back to an extreme time. Because the reality is, if we go back to an extreme time throughout history,
Yeah.
we'll all be fucked for something.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
like,
fucking oath.
Yeah. So, like, moving forward, I feel like the one thing I think we can do better moving forward on a conservative front is kind of like respecting spaces and respecting old traditions in terms of it's like there are some people who are never going to be into certain things and we need to respect that. And if they choose not to be around it and choose not to be and don't want it in their face, that has to be respected.
Yes.
The other thing I think moving forward too is that one thing, and like I've got no opposition to like any sexuality that people might have, but I do think we are over hypersexualized as a society. And one thing I think we need to do moving forward of that and take so much emphasis off sex, because at the end of the day, while it's fun, it's not the only thing.
Yes.
And I think one thing we need to probably do for moving forward in generations is actually fucking be careful at how much internet younger people are consuming. Because it's like, that's where it fucking starts.
It is very true.
You know,
I remember watching porn when I was like 12, 13.
Yeah, and like that's, of course, going to have an effect on you. And I think like one thing we can definitely do moving forward is like actually fucking put barriers up that keep kids from fucking going to certain parts of the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, I kind of fucking think that's important moving forward.
When I was at my private school, because I went from public school to private school, and in year 5 you'd get a laptop, like an Apple laptop.
Yeah.
So we could work on it. But when you were connected to the Wi-Fi at school, there were some certain sites that, like, to say like cool math games, or something like that. That takes me back actually.
Classic.
That website, that was so
That's
fucking
taken down.
fun.
Yeah.
Fucking Jump, that game. Fuck. Like you couldn't access them because they would restrict it on the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
But when you'd get home, everything would be accessible. So, but the shit thing was, which I find really disturbing, is that school could track your history and where you'd go online, even when you were at home.
It seems like a violation of privacy.
Yeah, and I'm fucking like, what, 11, 10? I was 10 years old at that time. So when I got to school the next day and I got pulled into like the fucking head of years office, they were like, you've been searching these at home. And I was like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yeah.
Like, that's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And I remember mum being in there at the same time. We both left. We were being like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I get where they're coming from in that sense. But at the same time, it's like, that should be the parent's job.
Yeah, it should be. But it's like, okay, fair enough, you are providing the technology. At the end of the day,
Yes.
it is the school's property. Mm-hmm. But it's also like, once that kid's left, you've chosen to give that kid a laptop. Once they leave school,
And you pay for it.
Exactly.
Exactly. We paid for it.
Yeah. And like once they've left school, you should have no say over what they fucking do.
Exactly. When they bring it onto the premises, it's like, okay, then that's when the rules kick
Yeah.
in. But at the end of the day, if we've paid for it and we take it home, it's like free range.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know how I found that world of pornography. I don't know how I found it. But it was so interesting to me watching it at home when I was that young. I was like, this is quite interesting. Because I think I walked in on my dad watching it. And then I was like, what's he doing? So I searched up. I could see what website it was. So I searched up and I was like, oh, this is quite different. Yeah.
Go on.
So like-
We're fucking cursed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and now I see kids, it's like they're always on their
Yeah.
tablets, like
Yeah.
especially iPads. That's the thing I see the most of.
Yeah.
And it's like you're putting this tablet in front of a kid's face.
Yeah.
Like, not even putting it, you've given it to them, and then now they're addicted to it.
Yeah.
But they're in a public setting, and it's like, I'd love to see them, like, put it down and have fun.
Yeah. There's so much fun to have away from technology.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a great pose of you, Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
okay.
a lovely headpiece over there.
Yeah.
Yes.
One attention seeker.
He is. Yeah. Martin Darcy is a shameless attention whore. And
Oh.
I love it. I love it about him. He's what makes him very marketable.
We bond on that sense, my friend.
Now, what strikes me is when I first started going into Connie's is, and I still don't believe how it's possible,
Yeah.
how much I get hit on when I go in there.
Mm.
So I'm quite a prude. Like, I'm a hornbag, but I'm also very uncomfortable with flirting because I don't realise people
I'm
are
the
flirting
same.
with me.
I don't pick up on it.
Yeah.
And I get very nervous.
Yeah.
Do you get the same?
Yeah, because it's like I don't pick up on it until it's obvious, and then I'm shitting myself. Like,
Right.
what? Especially if you're like not really attracted to the person,
Because you don't want to be rude at the same time.
exactly. So, but isn't it staggering like that? Like, how well would Jehmal clean up if he went into Connie's? Blokes would be haunting him in like that.
I reckon he would.
Yeah.
Imagine him with a mesh shirt on and a tight pant.
Oh,
Thanks, guys.
yeah,
And that earring in.
yeah. Oh, fucking,
Bit of hair
Everyone
gel.
loves the earring.
it's great.
It's
Thank
great.
you. Yeah.
Did you get it from Cheap?
No, I think I got it from Pigeonhole.
Pigeonhole.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know that design. I've seen it before.
Yeah. Shut up, Pigeonhole. Shut up, Pigeonhole.
Next sponsor.
Next sponsor. Well, we need to get a sponsor for this fucking thing. After everything we've talked about, that probably won't.
They would probably sponsor you. I know Johan quite well, the owner of Pigeonhole.
Okay.
It wouldn't be much.
I
It'd
love it
probably
when they
just be his
legal.
name.
I hope for the day when they legalise drugs and I can start sponsoring drug dealers. Yeah. That'll be the day.
Sponsors.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Smoke Martin.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, yeah, go see this bloke. He'll sort you out for coke.
And
yeah,
this
you know.
episode's sponsored by Uncle Jono.
Yeah,
Cooks
exactly.
the best
Yeah, yeah.
meth-based
Up in-
Pretty
pharmaceuticals.
much, yeah.
Go down to Balga.
I remember someone
that's
asking
fucking-
me about like what would they. It's like, oh, you know, who are you willing to sponsor? What demographic is it? Like yada yada yada. And I was like, listen, if he's paying enough, I'll sponsor an African warlord if you need it. Okay, you know, it's like I've
That
got to
would
make
be
money
pretty funny.
too. Sorry,
That would be pretty
it'd
funny.
be very funny as a bit. Yeah. Like it would probably get me put on a blacklist of some sort. But
Yeah, that's a fair point.
fuck it, you know. People have done much worse for less, you know. Shout out Hillary Clinton. Yeah.
Didn't Donald Trump go back onto Twitter?
Yeah.
He's running
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
For
Running
president?
president again.
What
Yeah.
the fuck, really?
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Lord
don't
of the
do it
States,
again.
Return of the King.
I mean, he held up his promises, but I just don't want that fucking drama in my life.
to be honest with you,
Even though it's not my country,
if he comes back, it would be the funniest thing in the world.
it would.
It would be hilarious.
None of it's real.
Nah, of course not. It's all
So that
staged.
it amazes me that
all
people
rigged.
have such an emotional connection
Yeah.
to something that isn't real.
And to be honest with you, if he does run in again in 2024, I reckon he'll win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'd love to see?
Well, especially after Joe Biden.
Yeah. You know who I'd love to see as president?
Who?
The Rock.
Mm. Yeah.
I reckon him sitting in the White House, muscled up, not even fitting in the chair,
Yeah.
because he's that built.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he signs the paperwork is just an eyebrow.
Can you smell
What
what
the
the Rock
Rock
is bumming? You know.
Yeah, just sprinkle it.
Yeah, that would be fucking.
Just
good.
one eyebrow hair
Yeah.
at a time.
Journey to the call center of the earth.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. What would be another good Dwayne Johnson bit? It could be. You know who else would be good as president?
Who?
Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
We talk about Obama being iconic for being the first black man in the White House. Imagine the first crackhead in the house.
Yeah. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
Just a fucking crack sniffing.
We're
ball
legalizing
banging,
everything.
Oh, fucking hell.
He's good at international relationships, that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Bulgaria.
We'll just
yeah,
hand them a
fucking
joint. Be like,
yeah.
let's talk.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, you know, we talk about people being corrupt where it's like, oh, this president received $1 billion to send, you know, arms to this country. Be like, yeah, we gave fucking Hunter Biden a fucking ounce of fucking rock, you know, to bomb Bolivia off the face of the planet. And it'd be like, that'd be iconic as a president. Yeah.
At least then, finally, they'll be open with you on why they're taking over the poppy fields.
Yeah.
You just have Hunter that, you know,
Yeah.
about the poppy fields in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
You just have, he's like, fuck yeah, we did it, boys. I'm like, we did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it'd be the most transparent government ever.
Dude,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like, I have no idea where this $1 trillion went. It would be like, there, her, him,
Yeah.
all of this.
Exactly.
And then you'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he'd be like it'd be like, oh, so we've been gone from assassinating political figures and journalists to assassinating dealers and pimps. Yeah. Ledge.
People
Fucking-
really want Oprah in as president.
please no.
Please, no.
Really?
It's not, she's very charismatic, don't get
She's
me
a
wrong.
demon, I reckon.
I reckon,
I reckon she's an interdimensional entity that has been put in this sphere of
we're
consciousness
getting
to brainwash
going into an
us.
Alex Jones
Oh,
vibe
here we
now.
go.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, the Clintons are, Hillary Clinton is an interdimensional child molester, and Bill Clinton is a vampiric pedophile. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, he's not wrong.
Not entirely.
You just change your definitions of what a vampire is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
well,
drink blood.
They do.
They drain the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy vampires. Get away from me.
Yeah.
Colin Robinson.
Positivity.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go into plugs. How far are we into the time?
We are an hour and 7 minutes in.
Fucking perfect. I could not have timed that
That was
better.
pretty good, man.
Yeah, I'm getting a good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Hopefully
go.
it translates to stand up because I have no fucking concept of time on stage.
Do you guys play games?
Video games?
Like video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I've started playing God of War.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Right?
Because of the muscly.
No, just a normal one. I've never played God of War in my life. I have bought Ragnarok, but like playing God of War, the original one, like the one that came out on PS4. Yeah. Like I was playing it last night and I thought I'd played it for an hour. It'd been fucking 4 hours.
Nice.
Just to put time in a fucking like concept for you, that's just mental to me.
Yeah.
I was like, it's fucking 1 a.m. And I started playing it like, what, 9?
I know. They're a fucking time trap, those video games. I know about it. I won my first game of Warzone last night. Suck my
Oh,
dick.
Victory Royale.
Yep. I fucking won it. And I only needed to kill 4 people for it.
Really?
And yeah. I fucking could not. I could not. Considering I finish usually less than 50, it was a fucking big deal for me. So, yeah, I was pretty fucking stoked with that.
So we just have a conversation about what's happening over there.
Oh, yeah. This is the mascot for the podcast. Yeah.
It's actually that's our manager.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He sorts
Pikachu
out
on
the
a fucking-
sponsors.
Yeah. I love him so much. So, Jehmal, would you like to plug anything?
Hold on. I'm just
Yeah, it's got
Okay, I got that on video. That's all I need.
Please send that to me when you.
Yeah, it's like a second of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking, I'd like to plug the electric chair in and take a spin. Apart from that, no, not anything that I haven't already plugged for you. I'm working on an album,
Oh, lovely.
so that will be out soon. 3 more
Nice.
songs. Very proud of it. I've been told by a lot of very accomplished musicians and comedians that it's going to be very big. So now I'm just getting a marketing gimmick going. So if you see Perth stop for a second, it was me.
Nice.
Yeah,
It was me.
Nice.
it was me. and yes,
It's me all along.
I want to. This isn't a plug, but I just want to quickly say, I want to make a music video with rappers, and I want to film it at Connie's, because a lot of the queens say they want to be rap video background thotties.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
I
the
can see it.
perfect 2 artists for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're already a part of the LGBTQ community,
Fuck yeah.
and I think they already tried that in Melbourne. So, well, like tried it, but
We'll make it a success because West is best. Suck my dick. All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I've plugged my dates in my Fringe show: 27th of January, 10th of February, 18th of February. Lock in those dates. I will be posting venue and ticket links soon. So yeah, go check that out. David Morgan Brown, Chris Pachulo, Sadi Chalabi, Omar, Robbie Brooks, David Morgan Brown, Martin Darcy, and myself. I might have said a few names in there twice.
No, I think you were pretty good.
Nice. And now, James, Alanova,
Mm-hmm.
bisexual keen of Perth.
Yes.
What would you like to plug?
Well, by the time this airs, I don't know what date it's going to be, but
Can we get this episode out in 2-3 weeks?
We can get it out in a week. What, the full episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get it out tomorrow.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Let's say 2 weeks or less. So
Yeah.
anything for.
well, like I've got Pride. This is my first Pride I'm performing, which is very exciting. I am doing the Brass Monkey with the lovely Barbecue and Alexis Armstrong. I'll be there from 5:30 to 7, and the other queens will be there till 8, I think. And then I'm doing the Connections float for Pride along the streets of Northbridge and the city of Perth. And then I'm doing the 12 a.m. show at Connections Nightclub.
Fuck yeah.
Tickets are still available.
Lovely.
But yeah, fucking probably not been used. CDs. But no, that's very exciting. And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, I'm not in any Fringe shows for next year. I'm just helping out with shows, which is not bad for me because I had 4 Fringe shows this year. I've never performed Fringe before, and it killed me because that was just one after another. Yeah. So, and I had work on top of that. So I'm just helping out with Fringe shows and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all.
I will make a shout out to any Fringe performer that I've associated with in either rap, music, drag, or comedy. If anyone needs any like assistance, whether it be promotional activities, setup, electrical, anything like that, I would love to help out a Fringe show. I would love to do volunteer work for any performer. Some things may have to be paid for just in case of any costs I incur or what time I book off from work to do it, if I book off any time at all. But if anyone needs any help or would like to collaborate on anything, I would love to help out fellow performers because that's what we're about here at Proffesianal Degenerates. So thank you very much, guys, for listening. Thank you to my wonderful co-host, Jehmal.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. And go listen to his single, fucking Don't Play With Us.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
pretty
I
good.
binged that fucking 10 times in one gym session. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And big thank you, James, for...
Yes, thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank
Elanova. Shout out, signing off.
Peace.
Excellent work, guys.
Fuck yes.